I think you might be able to tell that right there is a knoll, a little bit of a high spot right there. We called it the campground because it's a place where you could camp out. My son and his buddy camped there once, and when they got up in the morning out of their tents, there was a mother bear with 2 cubs. It turned out okay. Anyway, I'm going to put a fountain there. It's going to be called Barbie Fountain in honor of my youngest sister, Barbie. And the boundary line between us is more or less where this wire is, where this sort of fence is, and that's the pin that marks the boundary. That road is on their ground. And the spring, which is where we're going to go, is on their ground. I'm going to call it Jeffrey Spring in honor of Barbie's husband, Jeffrey. And while I'm here, I'll show you one other thing, and then I'm going to start walking up to the spring. That's what I wanted to show you. I call that the bench oak because it's like a bench. You could actually lay down on the ground directly underneath that massive trunk. You know, it had blown over and a branch had grown up like that. Let me see if I can zoom into that. Yeah, I guess I can. It's an old log drag, not a road. You can tell it was meant for dragging logs down by mules or horses, maybe one after the other in line. It's so narrow. But anyway, it breaks through right here. An old minecart track, and so does that logging road right there. It breaks through it as well, and you certainly can't see it there, and you may not be able to see it there either. I'm going to start walking up along it. It means that I don't have to go downhill and back up to get to that spot. I can use this, which is done on a very even grade, possibly with a transit, and I'm dragging pipe behind me to take it up there. I think I have enough. I'm pretty sure I do. And I have it because I had loaned it to my neighbor Andy, but then he replaced it with new pipe, and he said there's about 800 feet of it. I have more too. All right, well, I'll start walking until you can see where this minecart track is. I talk about it elsewhere in my videos in Frank School. I'll give you the link. I'm coming the other direction then. But right out through there, maybe you can see it. What they must have done is taken stones from our left, piled them on our right, enough to lay the track down. So we're going to go up there a little ways. Here maybe you can see it a little bit better. That's where they took the stones out. That's where they put them. I'm standing right in the middle of it. And down there is where I'm coming from. That blue ribbon is from a time quite a few years ago, maybe 6, 7 years ago. I was up here as part of the outing club. 3 girls were here with me. It was raining, we got soaked. But anyway, we came up through here and documented where this trail was, where the minecart track was. There's where that minecart track goes around the shoulder of the hill. And it makes a very, very lovely walk, an easy walk to go along there. But this is why I stopped here. This is water coming from that spring. And that small pipe is one that I brought up here, dragged up here earlier. I'm gonna go down that way, but at the moment we're gonna head up, which I hadn't done in a very long time. This is not my land. This is the land of the Hetricks. There you can see water coming out of that pipe that's coming straight from Jeffrey Spring up there. That's a pipe that I dragged up earlier. I'll connect these two and head on down. Well, I'm going to go up to the spring first. Couldn't hook them together because I'm here without any tools, and there was an adapter already in there, like what you see there. That's Jeffrey Spring, as it is, basically untouched for maybe 100 years. You know, I don't know. Back when the miners were here, I rather think that those Italians that worked here, they must have really appreciated a good spring. Well, I'm going to walk up just a little bit. It's a little wet there. That would have to be cleaned out. But when I was coming up here, I didn't really see any higher wet spot. And this is a wet time of the year. Now here's a logging road from when they were using big heavy skidders. And I still don't see that water coming up here anywhere. I think up there it might be, but that would indicate that it's a true spring. And it's rather remarkable that it's up here high in the shoulder. That's one of the things that makes it so special. All right, we're going to head down. Maybe if I'm real quiet, you can hear the water. But it looks very much to me as if it was channeled. You know, water tends to spread out and make a big damp spot. But I stopped here really to show you how high above the hollow down there we are. This is really basically at the height of ground that this spring comes out. It's kind of a mystery. Okay, and I'm close enough that I'll show you that right here is that minecart track again. But I'm not going to go back that way. I want to go on down here to show you some things. Again, this looks to me as if it was channeled, and I think it was channeled by hand. And if I'm right about that, it might have been done 150 years ago, or 100 years ago, back when the mining was really big here. And I'll show you one other mystery, which I have shown before. I have a whole video called, I think it's called something like the lost city of, or village of Conemaugh. You know, I think I even walked down along here and show you what I'm about to show you elsewhere. Now I'll clean the leaves out probably for fun, but no one's done that. I mean, I'm sure no one's done it for as long as I've been here, which is 50 years or so. And it just seems to have been channeled. And I'll show you a reason why it might have been channeled. Now it stops here. Here it then kind of goes out just into the ground, only to reappear then down there as kind of joined with other things. All right, the reason I think this is so interesting is right over there. We're going to head over there. Okay, that digging there, oh, and I should say that there is an old road that comes up through. I'll show you where that is. That digging right there was probably to see if there was any iron ore here, probably. But that digging over there, I think, was a dwelling. And I'm not really supposed to say the word that it was known to me as, but so I call it the N-word, huts. There's one of several up here. Here's where that road goes up through here to follow the shoulder. You know, now I'm into the archaeology of the Camp Ranch campus. This, I think, was dug out as a dwelling, and one of the main reasons I think that is its size, but these sandstone, the way they were gathered, and that stone right there, I'll put my toe on it, that I think was the lintel over the fireplace. Now how it fell quite like that, I'm just not sure. That might have been stacked later as some kind of a marker. Just not real sure, but anyway, this I think was probably where, well, possibly where a family of black slaves lived here, maybe almost 200 years ago. Well, not quite 200 years ago, but 150 years ago. There's another one down there, and I have shown this elsewhere. Now they could be test holes. This mining was so extensive, and they could have been test holes to see if there was ore here that was worth digging out. But I don't know. Once again, there's a stone. Well, the way to find this out would be to excavate it and see if there's any charcoal. This stone right here would be the lintel. And this, of course, the fireplace. Alright, I think that's probably all I'm going to show you for now. The birth of a spring, of a fountain. Well, I'm back already. I thought I could locate this a little bit better for you. This is called the Tram Road. I late in life learned that that was the old name for this, the Tram Road. It goes up to the most massive mine face on the property. And it's been used since as a road in various ways. And then this is where that water comes on down through. But by this time the water has joined other water, and it doesn't seem to have been developed in the same way. Now back up to where Barbie Fountain's going to be.